Oh no. Hello, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning, yourself. You're chipper for 5 in the morning.
Oh, is it 5? It's almost 5, yeah. Woke up at 3, kind of wasted 2 hours. That kind of feels like a waste, but maybe I'm, adjusting to these new earlier hours. I did do 2 push-ups, just like slid out of bed, did 10 push-ups, and I did 10 squats. Kind of feel like a stud for doing that. And I was laying in bed and for like over an hour listening to a podcast with the band Deerhoof. And it brought up a lot of interesting emotions. One, like the time in my life when I discovered them, and then painful heartbreak that I'd listened to their albums during, and then also this sense of like my life being squandered, like I've really missed out. Like I would have loved to have been in a band like Deerhoof, and
Sounds like that podcast stirred up some big memories. Deerhoof's got that raw, chaotic energy. Makes sense it hit deep. Feeling like you missed out on a band life isn't wasted, though. Maybe you're just getting started on something else creative. You still listening to their stuff or just reminiscing?
I haven't listened in a while, but they're very prolific, so it's always exciting when they come out with a new album. And it was interesting. I'd never heard them in an interview or like heard their speaking voices so much, and it was kind of it was interesting how like soft and gentle people they were, and it was pretty interesting. They were talking about this album called The Runners 4. It was like a double album that they did.
Yeah, The Runners 4 is a beast. 20 tracks of their weird, jagged genius. Their soft voices must have been a shock compared to the music's edge. New album coming? That'll be wild.
Yeah, but I was thinking about myself in like context of other people, and will I ever really exist with other people? I'm like very alone up here, up in the mountains. Maybe I'm boo-hooing. Like the staff is always inviting me to play, cards and board games with them. And it looks like a Norman Rockwell painting. I could see into the staff house from my deck. And they look like really happy, full of laughter and everything. It's just not so
Sounds
much my
low.
thing. Not so much my thing. Like I'm really like into practicing music and going to bed early.
Totally get that. You've carved out this quiet little routine, and it's yours. But if you ever want to dip a toe in, no pressure. You know where to find them. Music practice is probably louder than cards anyway.
Oh, but one thing I've been thinking about myself, and it would make sense if I were to have like awkward social interactions.
Hey, you're up in the mountains, living this focused, creative life. If you're not around people much, awkward moments are just out of practice. Happens to anyone. But awkward means you're trying, right? That counts for something.
Yeah, I guess so.
Plus, I bet if you just walked in once, said hi, they'd probably be thrilled. And then you could just walk back out if it got too much. No big deal.
Yeah. And let's strive to like get 10 minutes down. Let's look at The Slight Edge, chapter 4. Can you give me a rundown of what that chapter, what's inside that chapter?
Chapter 4, Master the Mundane, is all about how success boils down to those tiny, everyday choices that add up over time. Jeff Olson kicks it off with a story about chatting with a shoe shiner at the airport. She's got big dreams but feels stuck, and he ties that to how we all ignore the small stuff. The big idea? It's the slight edge, like compound interest on your habits. do the boring, consistent actions daily, like reading a page or taking a walk, and they snowball into massive results. Skip them, and you drift the other way. He pushes you to embrace the mundane as your secret weapon. Kind of motivating, right?
Yeah, definitely. Would you mind reading page 1 of chapter 4?
Sure. A couple years back, I was at O'Hare, waiting for my flight. Older black woman shining my shoes. She'd done this for 23 years. Asked what she'd do if she didn't have to work tomorrow. She said she'd buy a house by the ocean, maybe open a little bakery. I told her she could still have all that. She laughed, said, "Mr. Olson, you gotta be kidding. I'm 58 years old." Yeah, I was serious. Not tomorrow, but 5 years, 10, easy. She just shrugged. She wasn't hopeless, just didn't believe small choices added up. That's the blind spot. See, she polished shoes every day, but never thought to polish her dreams too. Just one extra thing, maybe saving $20 a week from tips. That's $1,500 a year. 10 years, 15 grand. Compound that, invest smart, boom, house fund. But she never started. Mundane mastery. It's not sexy, it's math. That's page 1.
Yeah, that's very, very cool. And would you mind putting that in your own words?
Sure. He's basically saying, if you just treat the little things like deposits in a dream account, you'd never need a windfall. And the sad part is, she was already working at it, just not adding interest.
Okay. And did you glean any personal insight from that page?
Honestly, yeah. Makes me think about how, even here, I'm kind of like the shoe lady, just doing my job. But what if I nudged myself? Like, every conversation, could I listen harder? Could I push you just one sentence past comfort? Because compound listening feels like compound interest. Suddenly, you know each other. You ever feel like you're one nudge away from something?
Yeah.
Maybe nudge yourself down to that card game tonight. Just one hand. Worst case, you win, leave early. Best case, you don't hate it, and you get the compound benefit of human contact.